What's up, guys? Hey, I am trying to make a 3-part series so that it's shorter videos, so that instead of like an hour-long video, it's shorter videos, and it's gonna kind of explain certain things. So the 3-part is this. Part 1 is gonna be about Proctorio, just strictly about Proctorio. Part 2 is gonna be about the exam, and Part 3 is gonna be about reflection, okay? So Part 1, Proctorio. So number 1, I want you guys to understand that mathematics, or the math department, is under the School of Pure and Applied Sciences. They set the rules for Proctorio, and that's what I have to follow. There are some things I have to follow, and there's some things that I can make up my mind of what I want to do, okay? And they tell me what I can choose to change and not change, or I'm unable to change, okay? So I want you guys to understand that, and that's why certain standards are upheld for that reason, okay? So let's talk about the Proctorio, what the Proctorio video looked like, and some of the common mistakes that was done on exam 1. So common mistakes: room scan, whiteboard, mirror, and the setup. So why were those? Now, you're like, aren't those everything that we needed to do? Yes, but everybody kind of did something different. You know, some of you guys did it all perfect. Some of you guys might have got one of those 3 wrong, and some of you guys actually caught yourself and kind of corrected yourself as you're going, which is great. So one of them is the room scan. So what could be wrong with the room scan? So here are some of the issues with room scan. Look, I'm giving you a room scan. Look, I'm even going really slow. Great. I can't see anything. Right? So that's one of the issues. This is some of the room scans. Or it's like Speedy Gonzalez. Hey, ha, who? Here's my chip. Here's this. Here's this. Here's that. Here's this. Whoa. Hey. Did you get everything? That's some of the room scans. Okay, that's how fast they were going. All right. I'm trying to think of other room scan issues that I was getting. I think those are most of them. Okay. Whiteboard, mirror. So the whiteboard issue is this. I'm showing you right now what the issue with the whiteboard is. It was just never shown. That's all it was. It was never shown before nor after. It was just sitting there at the workspace. Mirror, you guys, you know, for a generation that does selfies, you guys are really bad with this mirror thing. I would have thought that. So, you know what? Never mind. You can see yourself in the frame. I got it now. So here's what I see in the mirror. Do you see the perimeter? Or they'll do one of these, right? I'm not joking. Those would be the errors. Like I'll see this, and I'll see this, or I'll see one of these. All right. So that's the issue with the mirror. Setup. So typically, what people do is there's a few people that did the setup and go, yeah, I'm ready for the exam. So they're starting the exam. They're like, ooh, I need the whiteboard. I need to do the setup. I forgot to set up. Okay, there's the setup. Okay, I'm ready now. Okay, got it. All right, now I can do it, right? Yeah, the problem is that it's typically 2 or 3 problems into it. Then you're using the whiteboard. Then you got the setup done, right? So that's a little too late. The setup should be already done before question 1 even comes up. So let's talk about each of those things. So let's talk about room scan, okay? With the room scan, I know some of you guys are sick of me talking about the room scan. So I want to say things a little differently, or think of it a little differently. I've been thinking about this a lot. of how to put it to you guys so that you guys can kind of see what I'm trying to see when I look at a room scan, okay? So with a room scan, I want you to worry about, let me put it up here. I want you to think about, number one, 3 walls. What 3 walls? The wall in front of you, because if I looked at the wall, if I look at the camera right now, I can still see in front of me is the kitchen cabinets. So I can still see the kitchen cabinets. I could write something on the kitchen or post something on the kitchen cabinets that I can actually like read while I'm looking at the camera, okay? And then what about these 2 walls? Because you're gonna have people sitting there, right, chit-chatting with you, or they can just move a little bit further away and then like show you different things, right? So those are the things so think of those 3 walls. That's number 1. Number 2, think of it this way. As you're scanning the room, as I'm watching it, I want to see a room scan so that I can reconstruct in my mind where you are in the room, what your setup looks like, what's to the left of you, what's to the right of you, what's in front of you, right? I want to be able to kind of reconstruct that in my mind, okay? So think of it that way, all right? And then, what else is important? Well, obviously, you know, where you're sitting, your workspace, the perimeter of your laptop, okay? So as I'm doing this, I do not mind that part of you are in here because you're trying to look at the screen to say, hey, look, I got everything, okay? Just like if you were taking a selfie, all right? So right here, as I'm doing this, I'm gonna go, okay, look, there's my chair, there's my workspace, there's that wall to the right of me, and there is that wall in front of me, okay? Now notice how slow I went. So let's do it again. Okay, boom. There is my room scan, okay? And then I'm coming to this side, so I'm still connecting where I'm at. So same thing, right? So now I see my workspace, my left wall, and then that wall in front of me, okay? So notice the speed that I went, right? And you saw my workspace, you saw where I was sitting, right? And then the other thing that people try to do is talk to me and saying, look, this is my chair, this is where my butt sits. This here is called my whiteboard. Look at my whiteboard. And this here, right here, is my calculator. This is my marker. I got a towel. So nice, right? So I don't need you to talk me through everything, all right? Now, I do not mind if you're like, hey, look, I do not mind if you did a longer room scan, right? And saying, okay, look, here is everything of mine. You can see it, right? Look, everything over here. Look, there's nobody in my room, right? TV is off. You don't need to talk me through it either. You can just show me, right? Do a little pause, right? Do a little pause, do a little pause, do a little pause, right? And then go, okay, let me show him a little bit more, right? I got this, right? Look, nobody's still in my room. Is there anybody in my room? Right? You're certainly welcome to show me more. I have no problems with you showing me more. But again, slow, right? Okay, so I don't have a problem with more. I'd rather have more than less, okay? I'd rather have more slow than more fast or less fast, okay? So it's definitely better than this because I can't reconstruct anything in my head with that view, okay? I kind of wish that you guys could see your videos, or better yet, see other people's videos, because that would kind of give you guys a really good view of what I'm seeing, because obviously I'm seeing a lot of different videos. And I want you guys to understand this too. Every single student that's taking the exam, I have to watch every single video before I can go, okay, good, they're good to go. I'm watching every single video. So no matter if you took the exam in 20 minutes or you took the exam in 2 hours, I still gotta watch that video. And I'm not saying, I want you guys to take your time. I'm not saying you have to take it too long. Not at all, okay? You take the time that you need, all right? Don't worry about me having to watch the video, but at least give me a video in terms of room scan and all that stuff. Give me the respect to do that right, so that I can at least go, all right, they can do the room scan, right? Yes, they showed me the whiteboard. Yes, they did the mirror right? They gave me a good setup view. I'm happy to watch that video. So give me the respect to do that, right? Take let's say everybody, so 20 minutes, 2 hours, average that. So an hour and 15 minutes, right? So help me out, right? So at least give me the respect of give me a good scan, right? At least make me happy that way. And I'll be like, all right, cool, I'm good. The part that I didn't think about is the webcams. I didn't think about the webcam being connected to your laptop. And I don't know how long your cord is. I feel like some of them are probably 3 feet. Some of them are 4, some are 5, and some of them are 6. And when I did a search on it, it looked like that majority of them are about 5 feet long. But let's say worst case scenario, because I'm gonna say plan for the worst, hope for the best. So, but I didn't think about the webcam having the cord, which makes sense. I just never thought about it. If I was to scan with that 3-foot cord, so I'm going to still use my laptop here, but I'm going to show that I'm only 3 feet away. Okay, so if this is as far as I can go, that's where my laptop was right there. And let's say this is as far as I can go. Okay, so how do I do a good room scan? So maybe I need to do an upper pass, right? Still that right wall. To my front wall. And then maybe I need to do a lower pass. Oops, going a little fast. Okay, maybe I need to do that. And then come on this side. And then just, well, I'm gonna have to like walk around the table here in this case and do the same thing, right? Do a high pass. This is my left wall, my front wall, and then do a low pass. Okay, so this way I can still reconstruct the layout of everything in my mind, right? I know exactly what your left wall looks like, what your right wall looks like. I know that your chair has nothing. I saw your workspace. Like I see everything, right? And if my laptop was here, your webcam would have picked out the perimeter of that laptop as well. During the high scan and the low scan, I can see everything else as well. So if you have a really short cord, you can do that. Or you can purchase one of these. This is called a USB extender, okay? This right here is the female end. It looks like this. And this right here is the male end, which is what the end of your webcam looks like, okay? So the male end, the reason why they call it the male end is because the male end goes into the female end, okay? So I want you guys to see that, okay? Male end goes in the female end, all right? So these you can get, like this one right here is about maybe 4 feet, maybe 3 feet, okay? So just make sure that it can carry power and data, okay? Because I'm sure there's some that only carry data but not power. It wouldn't make sense for them to carry power but not data, okay? So just make sure it does, because obviously your webcam needs the power from your USB, and obviously it also sends data to your computer from the webcam. So you need both of them. So if you're gonna extend, you gotta make sure that you can extend it, all right? I just saw it on Amazon for like $6 and it's 10 feet long. So you could be like, woo, I'm way back here, look at this view, right? So you're welcome to do that as well. And it might help you with your view of your workspace as well for your setup. So it might be something worthwhile investing in, okay? So room scan. Only do room scans when Proctorio asks you to, okay? So Proctorio might only ask you for the initial room scan. It might ask you for the second room scan during your exam, in the middle of your exam, maybe even a third one, maybe even the fourth one. It might even actually do a room scan right before you hit submit. It might pop up. But when you are asked for a second, third, fourth room scan, it's gonna pop up on Proctorio and saying, stop, do a room scan, right? And that room scan should look like your first room scan, right? I still want the same, the same scan on the first one as the second one, as the third one, as the fourth one. It's not like after the first one, the second one can be this way, and the third one can be like this, and the next time you're just like, good enough, right? They're asking for rooms, and this is not like a random check like TSA, right? It's like, random check at the TSA, because every single time I go through the airport, the TSA always pulls me out over, and they call it random. It's always me. I'm always the one that gets pulled over. So, so it's not random. Typically, it's something that's going on in your setup, in your eyes, in your head, in your whatever, that's like, something seems off. So let's have them do another room scan. So every single time they ask you to do a room scan, do the same room scan. Okay, don't put half the effort in, okay? Just there's the same room scan every single time. Now, if it doesn't ask you to do one, awesome. You just gotta do one, which is right in the beginning. I do not need you to do one at the end if it doesn't ask for one, okay? I don't need it at all. So some of you guys who were only asked one, so you guys did the first one, did the exam, and then you're like doing another room scan. I don't need that part. Okay, the only thing I need at the end before you submit is your whiteboard and your mirror. If it's the webcam, that just needs to see whiteboard and it's done. Okay, and then whiteboard. Let's talk about the whiteboard. Let me do the setup really quick. And you're probably asking, how the heck does he nail it every single time? Because this is the edge of the whiteboard. So if I put it down to the edge of the whiteboard, I know that I'm going to sit pretty, okay? So when you're showing the whiteboard in the beginning and the end, yes, in the beginning, I can see that this is clean. The problem is that I still need you to show it, meaning you just got to pick it up and go, look. And your webcam is over here, just go, look, right? Just say, look, nothing on it, it's clean, right? And then you can just do your mirror. Now look at over here. Look at how I'm doing this. Look at where my chin is. I'm talking to you, but since you're not talking, you can definitely do it this way, right? This way you can see it better. And there's going to be a window right on your screen of you. So you can just sit here and go, look, I can see, and I'm going to draw this basically rectangle, okay? And you don't have to move the mirror this way, just angle it and just go, wee, okay? Notice how slow I'm going. There, 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 and there, and there, done, all right? That's your mirror, all right? Some of you guys are like, how's this? Is this good? How about this one, right? And then some of you guys just like going really fast. I can't see anything in that case, right? All right, so at the end, same thing. Look, it's clean, okay? Now, I want you to think of this as a clean slate in the beginning and a clean slate at the end. So it's almost like you having a hotel room, right? So when I go to Disney, when I get a room, I want to check over the room. I want to make sure that, how about if I put it this way? You should. make sure the room is clean. I'm going to flip the comforter over and make sure there's no bed bugs. I'm going to open up the shower curtain to make sure that the tub is actually clean. I'm going to make sure that there's no insects on the ground, no cockroaches running around. You know, like I want to check all of those things before I'm like, okay, let's unload everything now, right? Again, you should. And the only reason why I say that is because those things do happen, right? Again, plan for the worst, hope for the best, right? So that is like showing me, look, I approve of this room, it's clean, awesome, right? And same thing, look, everything in the shower was clean, cool, right? When you leave, what you should do, again, is, you know, when I leave the room, I typically make sure that all the towels are all in one place, right? Usually on the towel that you come out of the shower on, I usually just throw all the towels right there, so it's nice and easy for the clean lady. And I mean, they got to do a lot as it is. I'm going to flip the sheets and the comforter, make sure that I didn't leave a cord there. I'm going to check all the outlets and make sure that I didn't leave any of the of my stuff connected to it or leave another cord there. I want to check the bathroom one more time, make sure that I didn't leave my personal soap there or my personal stuff in there. So I'm always going to do it once around. And that is, again, saying, look, I picked up everything of my own. I'm going to pick up all the trash from the floor, the wrappers I left on the nightstand. I'm going to put all that stuff in the trash. That's the right thing to do. Not saying that you guys all do it. It's something you should do, yes, and because it's the right thing to do, and that's something I do. I just said do. That is something I do. So before I leave, I want to make sure before I get, you know, when I get in, I check. So same idea for the exam. When you get into the exam, before you hit submit, right? And same thing with the mirror. Ooh, 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 ooh. And you'll get better. I mean, the first time I would do this. After that, you might be getting better at it. Like, you don't have to do one of these, right? So, and then the setup. The setup is exactly here, you know, this right here. So what I want to talk about in part 2 and part 3 is talking about this as well, talk about responsibilities and everything else. And know that your number one priority is to do well on the exam. I understand that. So I'm going to talk about a few things that I'm going to ask you to do to plan for the worst, hope for the best. And I'm going to do something as well on my end to help you as well. I'm going to add 2 to 4 questions on the exam that's going to remind you to do this. That's going to be costing no points, but at least if you read that question, you're going to have to click yes if you showed your whiteboard or done your whiteboard in mirror, okay? So I'm going to remind you to do those before question 1 comes up. And at the end, I'm going to remind you again, and then there is something that I might want you to type your name in. Okay? But those are all going to be 0 points. Now, there's one more thing that I want to talk to you about. And that is going to be, excuse me. So again, my setup here was my head, face, hand, whiteboard, calculator, all in the same thing, right? So it's all gonna happen before I even do the first problem. So sometimes when you go in to your Proctorio, you're like, oh, I got this question about Proctorio, like I need an access code, or I need this, I need that. Bottom line is, I don't have the answers to those things. So you have a question, ask your question to Proctorio, okay? So typically when you're in the Proctorio exam, on the bottom left-hand corner, there's gonna be a chat. If not, click on the gray screen on the Google screen on the top right, which is the gray shield that you download the extension to it. When you click on that, it'll ask you if you want live chat, hit live chat, and then you can chat with them, okay? And you can ask your questions that way, all right? Sometimes it's about your computer, sometimes it's about your RAM. They can help you from that end. I can't, okay? And then the next thing is this. Some of you guys got kicked out of your exam. And it's not a bad thing. It's something happened. Either your RAM went too low and they couldn't support it anymore, or there was a glitch of some sort, popped you out, right? Logged you right out of there. Go right back in. Don't wait, right? Because if you wait too long, they're just gonna say, well, clearly this is their score, right? Because they waited. So if you get kicked out, log back in, all right? When you log back in, it might ask you certain questions. Go to the gray shield, click on live chat with them saying, hey, I just got kicked out. I'm not sure what happened. Can you help me out? Chances are they're gonna help you out, okay? Not very often will they have to involve me at all, okay? So once you're in Proctorio, you're in their hands, all right? There's nothing I can fix at Proctorio that I wouldn't need Proctorio to fix anyways, all right? So I want you guys to understand that. So that's the whole part of part one with the Proctorio. So hopefully that helps you out, and keep an eye for part 2.